Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You're watching Advait, the fourth Umpire. And today I'm here with a special guest. Once again, after 2 years, I'm interviewing Mr. C. Venkatesh from Cric Chat with Venkatesh. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Advait, for having me on your show.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So it's been a wonderful 2 days, I think, this weekend. We all had a great weekend watching the IPL mega auction. And I think we can say this has been the best auction so far in the history overall, especially with the fact that there are 10 teams. So first of all, I want to know your opinion on the fact that there are 10 teams in the IPL. So what do you think about that change initially?
Yeah, 10 teams, I'm not really pleased with that, because if you have 10 teams, do we have the quality of players to fit in all 10 teams? That is my first problem. As we have seen it, I think none of the teams got their best possible thing. You see, they wanted something and what they got was something else. So I think 8 was the right number, not 10, because the quality of players that we have may not fit into 10 teams. That is my feeling, actually.
Yeah, even that's what I've also noticed that in some of the squads. I think this is kind of a grief for some of the squads. Like the Mumbai Indians, they're known to be having like backups, I think, like, or someone to replace if someone's injured. But I think the squad, this auction has affected them the most. Even though, look, we expected teams like Mumbai, Chennai, and Delhi to be affected the most by the mega auction because they have one of the best cores. But still, I think they're able to form new cores. And Chennai especially was able to buy back their old core. So I was kind of like, I kind of had a doubt, sir, because you see Chennai went after Robin Uthappa, Rayudu, and Dwayne Bravo and Deepak Chahar for 14 crores, for example. And Mumbai were, I think, only able to get Ishan Kishan for 15 crores. So do you think Ishan Kishan's 15 crores affected the fact that Mumbai Indians couldn't buy their core back?
Yeah, quite obviously, because we know this thing, putting all eggs in one basket. That is what Mumbai has done. They were aiming at Ishan Kishan and, of course, Jofraj. Those two are their prime targets. It is very clear from the auction table. So, in the bargain, they lost many other players. See, the team will consist of not 11 but 20 good players. You need backups, as you said. We need backups also. But they ended up selecting a first 11 only, and with very poor backups. And Chennai, in that matter, was very, very intelligent. They know that people will be going after Faf du Plessis, because last season, not only last season, last 2 seasons he has done exceptionally well. So they didn't really wanted Faf du Plessis because it will cost them a lot. But they know that people like Bravo, Raidu, and this man Uthappa will come cheaper. So they wanted to get them back, and in the bargain they were able to afford to lose Faf also. So they were very clever in that matter. So they got back 8 players who played in the finals last year and won them the title. And they sacrificed Faf, and they were also right in picking only one of the two, Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur, because both of them have the same skill set. So they know pretty well that both will go for a very big amount. So they zeroed on this man Deepak Chahar, because he's a better player, better bowler actually. So, and they got what they want. So I think they must be very much satisfied with what they get.
Yeah, I think the fact that what you said, I think Chennai is very smart in that case. And I think out of all their players they bought back, except Deepak Chahar, I think Faf went for the highest price, I think around 7 crores, right? And he was also a marquee player. So think about it, I think RCB like welfully took it. And I think like replacing a South Africa with another South Africa, because they had to lose AV because of his retirement. And another factor, like another team which I've talked about, Delhi Capitals as well, right? Because you were saying, like, I think not you, everyone was talking about these 3 teams, Mumbai, Chennai, and Delhi, their cores getting affected. Delhi bought a new core in total. Like, I don't think they were trying to buy back their core, because if you've seen, they've had 3 marquee players, and 3 of their marquee players within their old team. So they were trying to buy them back. So do you think Delhi having a new core setup and going into the next season will help them in the same way, will they be successful as they were previously?
I think Delhi must be reasonably satisfied with what they got, because they got right replacements. So because they lost Dhawan and they got Warner, like for like replacement, but Warner is also very consistent left-hander opener. And they also got this Mitch Marsh, who is another replacement for Stoinis. And another West Indies player, I'll just tell you the name.
Rovman Powell.
Rovman Powell is a nice replacement for this man.
Shimron
Hetman. So they almost got the same core. So they managed to get the proper replacements, I think.
Yeah. So I had a few topics to discuss about. First of all, now we have a few under 19 players that obviously did get sold in the auction. I think from an international perspective, Dual Bravis, Noor Ahmed, and then from a local perspective, I think we have Angrish Hungergaker.
Raj Baba was also there, and Captain Yashdul. Yeah.
So we all expected their stock price to go really high because of the recent under 19 World Cup win, because I think that was a tremendous win. But then I think the max was Raj Baba going for 2 crores. So do you think that's kind of even Vicky Osterwald, for example, I think he got bought on base price, right? So so these under 19 players, we kind of expected the stock to go higher because of the recent performances. So do you think they got less than what they deserved, or they got the exact price deserved?
Yeah, but because I'm not very particular about this under 19, I'm not very sure that they are going to perform the same kind of performances they can replicate at the higher level, because they were facing a different kind of opposition, and the centuries and whatever they got, the wickets they got, were against a lesser opposition. But here it is, we are talking about senior level. So we have seen with Yashasvi Jaiswal, it took him almost 1 season to get back into the higher level. So we also had a lot of hype surrounding him. So under 19 players, we have to see them at the higher level, because none of them played first class, unlike before. Because people like Prithvi Shaw, Rishabh Pant, they all played first class cricket before they played under 19 World Cup. But these guys, none of them played first class. So we don't know how they are going to perform at the highest level. So I think the prices they got was pretty much reasonable.
Yes. That too, I think 2 crores for an under 19 player. I think it is aware that to Dual Bravis also, I think he got sold for 3 crores, right? So
3 crores, yeah.
Yeah, so I think many of the fans wanted RCB to buy him because baby ABD replacing ABD would make a lot more sense. I mean, at the end of the day, Mumbai got a good pick in Dual Bravis. So I think that's good for them. And there was one more, the Unsold 11. So there was a post on Instagram, I think by ESPN Cric Info. I'll just get that up here.
They've got very big names actually, like Morgan Smith and all.
Yes.
And Mr. IPL, Suresh Raina.
Exactly. So this is the 11. I'll go player by player because it'd make more sense. So Aaron Finch, I don't think there's a much big discussion on Aaron Finch because of his recent performances.
He never did well. He is a very good T20 player. I think the highest score is in his name only. But somehow he never did well in IPL. Yeah.
Exactly. I think he's been moved to 8 franchises.
No-brainer. That is a no-brainer actually. Aaron Finch going unsold is a no-brainer.
Yes. Ramanullah Gurbaz.
But I think, Afghanistan, we always look towards their bowlers, not batters, because batters, we don't know how they are going to perform. Because same thing, like in under 19, these guys do well against lesser opponents, not against quality opponents.
Yeah. The next one I think is obvious Mr. IPL Suresh Raina. So there's a lot to discuss about that for him being unsold.
Suresh Raina is not playing any competitive cricket of late, and he is not fit. I believe he has put on a lot of weight. So last year his performance, I think he averaged some 18 last year. So in that case, Chennai picked up Uthappa, Bravo, and Rayudu, who are much older than Raina, because they have performed in the last season. They all performed in the last season, and most of them are playing competitive cricket. So the same analogy cannot be applied to Raina.
Yeah, I think apart from the first match, his comeback match against Delhi Capitals, he hasn't performed at all. So
Yes.
yeah, I think it makes sense. That at the end of the day, the fans were still disappointed, especially Chennai
Sentiments
fans.
have no place. This is a commercial league, Advait. The sentiments have no place. Sentiments and emotions. Most of the fans, IPL fans in general and Raina fans in particular, are very, very angry. They are angry with the CSK management, but we can understand that. But still, sentiments have no place because it's hard reality. His base price is very high. If it is 50 lakhs or 1 crore, people might have gone for it, but not 2 crores. It is too high.
That's all.
In the context.
That's what even I thought. I think towards the start, I thought he might be bought for base price. And then I think when round 2 came around, people were at the minimum price of 5 crores on their budget as well. So to spend 2 crores on one player, I think that was kind of a hard toss for them.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the next player, Steve Smith.
Steve Smith, he had some good innings in IPL, but he's not a big hitter. So he is very good in the other 2 formats, but this is not his favorite format, I would say.
Yeah. Actually, this one kind of shocked me. I think he hasn't underperformed at all. Saurabh Tiwari.
Yeah, that is really surprising because Saurabh Tiwari last time he played as a substitute actually. Substitute in the sense when somebody got injured. He performed really well in the limited opportunities that he got. He got a 50 also, I believe, the last season. But somehow nobody went for him. He's a left-hander, a lot of experience, played for Mumbai Indians. Playing for Mumbai Indians itself is a very good thing in your CV. But still, somehow people didn't pick him.
Yeah, even I was shocked. Exactly, his base price is also not high.
And he's not that old. Like Raina, he's not, I think he's in the early 30s.
Yeah. One more, I think this one is, I think it's a middle of a shocker and understandable by Eoin Morgan, the runner-up captain last year of the previous IPL.
Runner-up captain Morgan. I mean, you cannot pick a player only for his captaincy skills.
Yeah.
Because that exception is applicable to only that man, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Because nowadays they play him only for his captaincy skills. But Morgan, I think he becomes a liability on a team because he's a foreign player. You can play only 4 foreigners in the team, 4 overseas players. In that case, having Morgan will become a big liability on any team because so far, not only in the last season or last before, you look at the entire his IPL record, he has a very poor IPL so far.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of other players as well, but by the time we discuss, I think it will take a lot of time. So, I mean, I'll just go through the rest of the players. Shakib Al Hasan, Piyush Chawla, Amit Mishra, Ishant Sharma, and Dawal Kulkarni. I mean, in my opinion, first of all, I just want to say that I think Shakib Al Hasan makes sense because of the foreigner liability factor. But Piyush Chawla, Amit Mishra, 2 quality spinners. Why do you think they haven't been sold in this auction?
Purely on age factor, because Amit Mishra, I think after Malinga, he is the highest wicket taker in IPL. But still age factor only, I think he's 39, and same applies to Piyush Chawla also. Shakib Al Hasan is a foreign spinner, and of late he's not a power hitter. He's very useful in the one-day format, not in the T20 format as an all-rounder. So only they have to take him as a spinner because plenty of left-arm spinners are available in India. So they didn't go for him as a foreign spinner.
That actually makes, I think Shakib Al Hasan was understandable compared to like most of the other unsold people. Like Ishant Sharma and Dawal Kulkarni. I'm not sure if I should group them together, but at least the overall like summarized reason for them.
Dawal Kulkarni only is a backup seamer in any case for Mumbai or anybody, for Rajasthan also. And Ishant Sharma, always very expensive and is not cut out for this format. So I think it is expected that both of them going on.
So I think like for the unsold 11, I think our discussion is kind of done. And for the 10, there are some shockers, some understandable decisions made by franchises. So our next, I think we spoke about this already, Ishan Kishan's highest bid, but we're going to skip that topic for now because I think we discussed about it already. And next is shocking high expensive bids. Actually, I want to talk about shocking high expensive bids. What are the bids you think which were which didn't deserve that price but went for that price?
Particularly Liam Livingston, I think he went for some 11.5 crores.
11.25, yeah.
Yeah, 11.5. Because so far he has not performed in IPL. He has done well in other leagues, and he's having those multi-skills. Can bowl leg spin, off spin, and he's a 6-hitter. But he has to prove himself. He played 2 seasons, not 1 season. He played 2 seasons, only few matches. He could not even last the complete season. So in that case, he's not a proven quality. So that is a real surprise. Because there are better players who got lesser amount than him.
Yeah. The next thing I want to talk about are like the lowest bids. What are the biggest steals? Because I've seen so many in this auction itself. In your opinion, what do you think the steals are?
Steals, I think NGD gone for just 50 lakhs base price. That is a steal, really. And Warner at 6.5 lakhs is a steal. Warner, because Warner and du Plessis are the 2 players who have done consistently well in IPL. Okay, he had a poor last season, but he came back in the T20 World Cup, and he also did well in the first 2 Ashes tests. So he's in form, and he's a gun fielder. So I think Warner going for 6.5 lakhs. Actually, these marquee players, they got a raw deal, because the first 10, they didn't get, only one player got more than 10 crores, that is Shreyas Iyer, because of his captaincy. But other players, Warner and others, they got much less amount. Even Rabada went for just 9 crores. Rabada going for 9 crores and somebody else is going for 10 crores is something surprising, actually. Because initially, teams were very, they were having their hands very tight, because they know that they have to pick the entire squad. So in the first 10 names, it took some time for them to get warmed up before opening up their shoulders, so to say.
Yeah, I think one more steal in my opinion. I think Devon Conway, he's been picked up for I think 1 crore, and I think he deserves a lot more. I think he's one of the only players consistently performing in all 3 formats. Thus, he's also a left. He can be an opener. He can bat any order. I think in the batting lineup, and he's a wicketkeeper as well. So, do you think he is like one of the big? You can call him a biggest steal. I think bigger than Warner because of his all-round capability for CSK.
For the simple reason, because none of the New Zealand batters are doing well in IPL. See, take the case of Colin Munro. This man Kapil. They do well everywhere else in all other leagues, in even ICC events. But in India, in IPL, on slow wickets, they never did well. Only Kane Williamson and McCullum. They are the exceptions, I guess. All New Zealand bowlers do well in India, but not batsmen. So that might be the reason, because we have not seen him performing in India well. I think he played on the Test series, if I'm not wrong. He didn't play much cricket. He
didn't play in the Test against India. He didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play. I think he didn't play in the Test series.
Yeah.
So I think they don't know how he's going to perform in IPL. So teams were a little skeptical about him.
Yeah, and I think the fact that his name came towards the end gave that advantage to CSK as well, because I think at that point teams were looking to fill in their overseas slots.
Yeah, CSK was lucky. See, they got him pretty cheap. So CSK always makes those smart buys. So that is one more smart buy for him. I think he should be under Dhoni. I think he should be doing well, because Fleming also is there, a New Zealander. So that makes him things very comfortable for him.
Yeah. There was one. Yeah. Now going to the main 11. I sent you the list, right? So about like the main 11s.
Okay.
So
let's see your 11.
Yeah. First of all, for Mumbai Indians, I'll just go overall about it. So Ishan Kishan, Rohit Sharma on top order, batting and opening together. 1 down, Suryakumar Yadav. I think number 2, Duval Bravis. 3, Tim David because of the price. 4, Karen Pollard. Then 4 down, and then at number 7, batting at number 7. It depends. If Jofra Archer is playing, I would go for Jofra Archer. If I think it's confirmed that he's not playing this season.
Okay.
It's more than confirmed. So I think most probably if he's not here, then Daniel Sams would be the one playing. That's why I put a dash there. And as the next 4 bowlers, Murugan Ashwin, Jaydev Unadkat, Mayank Markande, and Jasprit Bumrah. So, what do you
looks
think?
pretty good. Let me see what are the options available. Devil Brevis, I'm not sure. He will walk in straight away. He will walk into the 11. What are the other options they must be having? Tilak Verma. Tilak Verma is an option. Tilak Verma is a left-hander, big hitter, and instead they can have one. You have 2-3 foreign batsmen, including Pollard, in the team. Tim David is also there. Instead, they can have one foreign fast bowler instead of Jaydev Unadkat. They have got some choices also there. Daniel Sams you have included. Riley Meredith is there. Kimal Binns, left-arm pacer is there. So if you play somebody like Tilak Verma instead of Brevis, you have to see how he is going to perform. So they have to take that call whether he's good enough for this
Indian
level.
pitches.
Yeah, because Tilak Verma played plenty of first-class cricket. So Tilak Verma, another Hyderabad guy, Rahul Buddhi is also there. He's also a left-hander. I think Devil Brevis is a right-hander. Yeah. So
He's a right-hander.
Right-hander. So I will go for this man because Ishan Kishan is there at the top of the order, and then you will have all right-handers. So that changed, and you will have some firepower in your bowling department. Jaydev Unadkat, I don't think he will be there in the first 11.
So the next team which I wanted to talk about is Rajasthan Royals. So their opening pair would be Yashasvi Jaiswal and Joss Butler. Number 1, I would keep Sanju Samson. Many people are saying Devdutt Padikkal, but Sanju Samson, number 1, I think has been really successful for Rajasthan Royals, and I wouldn't change anything about it. Devdutt Padikkal coming at number 4. I mean, batting 2 down by at number 4 would be ideal, and then Shimron Hetmeyer batting at 5, Riyan Parag 6, Ravichandran Ashwin at 7, then Nathan Coulter at 8, and then Yuzi Chahal, Trent Bolt, Prashant Krishna at 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, this looks very good. But only thing I have problem with the order. Devdutt Padikkal at number 4. I'm not sure because that is an unaccustomed position for him. He always batted at the top of the order. Instead, Joss Butler, we know he can bat in the middle order. So they can open with Yashasvi Jaiswal and Sanju Samson, right-left combination, and have Joss Butler at number 4 and Padikkal at number 3, or Padikkal and Sanju Samson as the openers and Yashasvi at number 3. So Joss Butler instead of Joss Butler, because Devdutt Padikkal in the middle order is something, a position that he is not at all used to.
Yeah.
And we have seen with RCB also. Padikkal always did well in the power play. Once the field restriction goes, suddenly it becomes cramped. So suddenly all his shots goes to the fielders. So I think Padikkal is better off playing in the power play. Otherwise, the 11 looks pretty good, and they have done really well in picking a very good 11. And I think instead of Nathan Coulter, I think they still have some choices in the bowling department.
Yes, I think they have Jimmy Neesham as well. They have
Jimmy Neesham. They have Obaid McCoy. No, not Obaid McCoy.
Yeah.
Nathan Coulter and Trent Bolt, because they played for Mumbai also. I think
together.
And Rathi Vander Dussen also they are having, but it is difficult to accommodate in the 11.
Yeah.
Then you have to sacrifice one foreign fast.
I think if you want to play at Rathi
and
Vander
they can
Dussen,
do that also because they have players like Navdeep Saini. So
yes.
That luxury also they can have. They can have Vander Dussen in the 11 and drop Nathan Coulter and play Navdeep Saini instead.
Yeah, they can do either.
Yeah.
And
they have also Kuldeep Yadav. This Kuldeep Yadav is different.
This is a different Kuldeep Yadav, the tall fast bowler.
Yeah.
And then from Lucknow Super Giants, I think all media, all fans are happy with this team, how they shaped up.
Yeah.
So this is like my 11. KL Rahul, Quinton de Kock, Manish Pandey, Marcus Stoinis, Deepak Hooda, Krunal Pandya, Jason Holder, Krishnappa Gautam, Mark Wood, Avish Khan, and Ravi Bishnoi.
Just a minute. Rahul de Kock, Manish Pandey, Marcus Stoinis, Deepak Hooda, Krunal Pandya, Jason Holder. Perfect. I think they have got all bases covered. They have a left arm spinner, off spinner, and a leg spinner. Two express fast bowlers, and they have backup in spinner in pace also. Jason
They have a
Holder.
leg spinner, a young leggy.
But only thing is they don't have backup seamers among Indian bowlers. They don't have a backup seamers, but their first 11 looks wonderful.
Yeah, it looks
on
amazing.
On paper, the only thing they have to gel together with a good team. But on paper, this team looks exceptionally good. With Krishnappa Gautam batting at number 8, they have a lot of depth in the batting, and they have so many bowling options. And they have express pace, one bowling all-rounder in Holder and batting all-rounder in Stoinis. This looks very good, actually.
Yeah. So now the next team, Kolkata Knight Riders. So this is like my starting 11. Venkatesh Iyer, Ajinkya Rahane, Nitish Rana, Shreyas Iyer, Sam Billings, Andre Russell, Sunil Narine, Pat Cummins, Shivam Mavi, Umesh Yadav, and Varun Chakravarti.
Umesh Yadav, you can have somebody else instead of Umesh Yadav. Varun Chakravarti, Pat Cummins, Sunil Narine. And Sam Billings. Instead of Sam Billings, you can have Sheldon Jackson.
Yeah, that does make sense because another overseas slot also fills in.
And you can have a pure batsman, a pure foreign batsman instead of Sam Billings. Ajinkya Rahane and Venkatesh are opening will make sense. Nitish Rana at number 3. Shreyas Iyer could be at number 3 and Nitish Rana at number 4. Okay, that adjustment can be done. Otherwise, looks pretty good. But let me see what are the options there.
Yeah. I mean, moreover, I want to talk about Gujarat Titans particularly because I think the squad is something. I've made a squad, I think, in my opinion.
I think instead of this man, Mohammad Nami is there, Tim Saudi, Alex Hales. See, he can have Alex Hales as an opener and have Sheldon Jackson as a keeper. That option you can have. Otherwise,
that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then, for Gujarat Titans, this is a squad which I think is quite different from I've read some what some experts have put for this team, but I think this one is going to be different, like really different. So on top, Shubman Gill and Riddhiman Saha. Number 3, Vijay Shankar. 4, Gurkirat Singh. And then David Miller, Hardik Pandya, Rahul Tewatia, Rashid Khan, Loki Ferguson, Mohammad Shami, and Alzari Joseph.
In the bowling department, I have no issues. But batting, I think Vijay Shankar and Gurkirat, both of them are failure stories.
Yeah.
Instead, you can have some youngsters because they definitely have big hole in the middle order. And Vijay Shankar and Gurkirat might not be the right idea because they never did consistently well in IPL. So instead, I think they should have other Indian players. If any Indian players are available, they should go for some youngsters.
Yeah, not known IPL, like not known names who performed the IPL. A lot of youngsters and a lot of.
They have this man. People are very much excited about. What is his name? Abhinav. Abhinav is in this team.
I think they're in this team.
Yeah, Abhinav Manohar. Abhinav Manohar. So many teams went for. He also got a bid of 2 crore 60 lakhs.
Yeah, I read about it.
See, Abhinav Manohar. And there is another guy, another youngster is there in this team, and there must be a better choice. Yeah, I think Sai Sudarshan. Sai Sudarshan is an all-rounder, but Abhinav Manohar, I think he will form part of the first 11. And instead, you have somebody like Jason Roy. You can have Jason Roy. I think is difficult to accommodate in the 11. So Abhinav Manohar instead of Gurkirat Man. Vijay Shankar you can still have. Vijay Shankar
because they need an extra all-rounder because we don't know about Hardik's
not
bowling.
Number 3, you can have it number 4 and number 5, and you can have Abhinav Manohar. They can groom Abhinav Manohar to bat at number 3.
Yeah, actually, many people they said they recommended to put Jason Roy on top of the order, but if you do put Jason Roy, I don't think Riddhiman Saha will be able to bat later on. And then you have another keeper in Matthew Wade. But if you want to replace David Miller with Matthew Wade, it also brings in that liability factor whether will he perform or not in the middle order, because I think he's been doing good as an opener for Australia, and then if you want the pace attack to be really good, like very raw with Alzari Joseph, Rashid Khan, Lockie Ferguson, and Avish Khan. I think from the batting, you obviously have to take one overseas player out. So that's why I put David Miller in there, because he's, for a fact he will perform in the middle, because he's been known for performing in the IPL, and thus he kind of brings in the mix and the balance.
So yes, David Miller is a safe option always. Safe option because he's somebody who bats down the order and makes those big hits. So I think David Miller is a safe option. He has got plenty of experience and is gun fielder. So I think Miller is a safe option compared to Matthew Wade. Matthew Wade also never did well in IPL.
Matthew Wade is not a safe option. And the next team, Chennai Super Kings, there's a lot of discussion about this team. And this is, mine is also a bit contradictory. I think many people may disagree kind of with the squad, like by a few margins at least. First, obviously, as an opening pair, Ruturaj Gaikwad and Devon Conway. I think it'd be a solid opening pair. And then number 3, Ravin Uthappa. And after that, Mohan Ali, Ambati Rayudu. And then Rajvardhan Hungargekar. And then MS Dhoni, Ravindra Jadeja, Dwayne Bravo, Deepak Chahar, and Adam Milne.
Hungargekar, I'm not going to have him straight away in the 11 because he's basically a bowler who bats a bit. So he cannot bat at numbers ahead of MS Dhoni. And Ravindra Jadeja cannot bat at number 8. Ravindra Jadeja, I think he should bat at number 5 or number 6. At the most, number 6. Hungargekar, I don't think will form a part of the 11.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Ravin Uthappa, what are the other choices you have, Indian players?
In terms of Indian players, I think they have. Give me a second.
I think Shivam Dube.
Shivam Dube is in the squad. I added Shivam Dube in there.
Shivam Dube is in your 11?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Shivam Dube is not in any of 11. I think we should always have Ravin Uthappa / Shivam Dube. One of the two.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I didn't add
Shivam Dube. Yeah.
I think I intended to add Shivam Dube before, but I haven't put him there. So I think Shivam Dube would make more sense putting him there.
Yeah, Shivam Dube.
Shivam Dube. And that way I think Dhoni can groom him.
I will have Tushar Deshpande instead of
Deshpande, yes.
Because Hungargekar has pace, but he picked up only a few wickets in the World Cup. Ravi Kumar and others did well. Has pace, and he in one particular match against a lesser opponent, he hit some big sixes.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I don't think he had a wonderful World Cup as such.
The next team I want to talk about is Sunrisers Hyderabad. The opening pair I put is Rahul Tripathi, Abhishek Sharma. Number 3, Kane Williamson, and then from that, Aiden Markram, Nicholas Pooran, Abdul Samad, Washington Sundar, Romario Shepherd, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, T. Natarajan, and Umran Malik.
But Muralidharan, I think he has given an interview today, and where he said Williamson and Abhishek Sharma are going to open the innings. So
Williamson and Abhishek Sharma.
Williamson and Abhishek Sharma are going to open the innings, and Rahul Tripathi now likely will bat at number 3. Markram, Nicholas Pooran, Samad, Washington Sundar, Romario Shepherd, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Natarajan, Umran. This looks good.
Yeah.
Actually.
Behind my thinking was
Indian bowler is there.
Karthik Tyagi.
Karthik Tyagi is also there. So it could be Karthik Tyagi / Bhuvneshwar Kumar. We don't know what kind of form Bhuvi and Natarajan are in. Natarajan, I think there is a Ranji match involving Tamil Nadu from today. When my friend who is covering that match, he's told me that Natarajan is not in the team. So he's not fully fit yet. So we don't have
fully fit yet.
Of these two guys. So we should bracket Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Natarajan and Tyagi. So 2 of the 3 should be in the 11. Tyagi is a very good choice actually. I think this team looks okay, but as I said, Abhishek Sharma and Kane Williamson will open the innings.
Yeah.
And actually, Romario Shepherd is they spent a lot of money.
Bowling all-rounder.
But bowling all-rounder, but Marco Jansen is a better bet than him. Because you have slotted him at number 9, I think, number 8. So,
yeah.
Romario Shepherd, number 8 is of no Of course, depending on situation, he can bat higher up the order.
If he can bat at number 7 as well.
Yeah, he can. Because he's a 6-hitter. But as a bowler, as a pure bowler, I'll have Mark Manson instead of Maresh.
Yeah. So for now, coming to RCB's team, I start off with Faf du Plessis and Virat Kohli up the order. And then following with Anuj Rawat, Glenn Maxwell, Dinesh Karthik, Mahipal Lomror, Shahbaz Ahmed, Mahindu Hasranga, Harshal Patel, Josh Hazelwood and Mohammad Siraj.
See, I've seen in many websites and everybody is coming up with in the newspapers also the same 11. Otherwise, they don't have choice also. They don't have choice. Even in my YouTube channel also, I've given the same team. And you don't have many choices otherwise.
Exactly.
So this should be the consensus.
This should be the consensus.
Everybody. Yeah.
Unless they groom a player to obviously make it to the main 11. So yeah, now the next team I want to talk about is Punjab Kings. So I think Punjab Kings is the same case as RCB. They don't have much choice, but they have a good 11, a solid 11. In Mayank Agarwal and Shikhar Dhawan opening, and then number 3 Johnny Bairstow, and from then on Liam Livingston, Shah Rukh Khan, Rishi Dhawan, Harpreet Brar, Odion Smith, Kagiso Rabada, Arshdeep Singh and Rahul Chahar.
This looks pretty good, but only thing, do we have any choice other than Rishi Dhawan?
There is not much choice.
Any Indian bowler other than Rishi Dhawan?
I mean, I think as a known bowler,
Sandeep Sharma is there. Sandeep Sharma is there, yeah. Sandeep Sharma is there. Prerak Markad is another all-rounder who bowls medium pace. Rishi Dhawan, I'm not sure about Rishi Dhawan, but otherwise the team looks good. And even if Raj Baba is doing well, they can have Raj Babas, but that will weaken your bowling.
That exactly. I think that would put a liability factor on the bowling.
Yeah, I think you can have Sandeep Sharma / Rishi Dhawan. Rishi Dhawan as a batsman, I don't think he's of much value, but as a bowler, he's okay. He has got that variations. And slow wickets, he could be very good.
He could be useful.
Yeah.
And I think last but not least, obviously the Delhi Capitals. I think this is a squad with a solid new, a solid team main 11. So to start off, obviously Prithvi Shaw and David Warner, which I'm really excited to see. And then number 3, Mitchell Marsh. And then from there onwards, Rishabh Pant, KS Bharat, Raman Powell, Akshar Patel, Shardul Thakur, Amit Nortje, Kuldeep Yadav and Chetan Sakaria. I mean, I just wanted to talk about one thing. A lot of people are debating between Chetan Sakaria and Khalil Ahmed, but just for the price, I don't think you put Khalil Ahmed in there because you already have a lot of pace from Amit Nortje. So with 2 pacers in this side, I think with like fast paces with a lot of speed within it, and then I think putting both Khalil and Anik would kind of, who knows, it might get the batsman to the groove because Anik's pace is kind of unique within the squad. So instead of having Khalil, I think Chetan Sakaria would be better. So what do you think about that?
It depends. With pacers, it depends on the nets. So who is in a better rhythm, who is bowling well, that all will be taken into consideration. So on that day, on that particular match day or in the particular season, which bowler is in better rhythm? The coaches will know by seeing them at the nets. So with the same skill set, Chetan Sakaria and this man Khalil Ahmed, whoever fits the bill on that particular day, I think they will get into the 11. Otherwise, this 11 looks good. Only thing is Rabada and Nokia, they had wonderful pace. Avesh on all 3 bowling parts. That kind of
with Lungi and Giri.
They are replaced by some medium pace and fast medium bowlers. But otherwise, we don't know how much Mitchell Marsh will be bowling because he's always injury prone. I think they will mostly play him as a batsman only because they've got options also. Roman Powell also bowls a bit. I think this 11 looks pretty decent because they've got two left-arm spinners. One is orthodox, one is Chinaman bowler. Looks pretty good.
So I think overall, I think we're kind of almost done. I just want to know one last thing. Out of everyone, I think not harder than the auction on paper, including the retentions, including what they have now with the auction, whose team looks the most solid and looks solid enough to bring back the trophy?
Difficult to say because we have seen the squads on paper, how they are going to combine, how they are going to gel together, all these things, and the captaincy aspect. They will have a lot of bearing on their performance. So I think on paper we have, as you said, Lucknow Super Giants, Delhi Capitals, Chennai, and Punjab. These 4 teams look very good. And even Sunrisers, surprisingly, on day 1 they did very badly, but day 2 they were able to assemble a very good lineup actually. So if everybody clicks, Sunrisers now they don't have that middle order problem.
They don't have
the middle order looks very solid now.
It looks different.
Could be a surprise packet this time. Surprise. They have some good big hitters. Nicholas Puran. If people like Nicholas Puran clicks, nothing like it. And Abhishek Sharma playing higher up the order. He is a very, very talented guy. And these guys should get a long rope. They should get a long rope. So if that happens, I think Sunrisers with Williamson's leadership and all, I think it should be a surprise pack this time.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today. So thank you, sir, for joining us, and it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe, like, and share this video with all your friends. And yeah, that's it. This is me, Advait, the 4th Umpire, signing off.